and welcome everyone. Okay, I'm super excited to introduce to you the Happily Hired Formula alumni group here. We have Shihua, Natalie, Jen, and Melanie that just disappeared. I think all of you guys are taking time out of your beautiful Saturday, so thank you so much for just being here and being willing to answer any questions that other people have about the program. I want to go ahead and start off and just have everyone introduce themselves really briefly. So just your name, where you're from, what you do, and what industry you're in. So I'll go clockwise. Shihua, do you want to kick us off? Let me unmute you really quick. Okay, there you are.
Sure. And so my name is Shihua, and I am from New York City. So my current job title is Performance Support Specialist with a health insurance company. And of course, my industry is in the healthcare, but the non-clinical side.
Beautiful. Thank you. Natalie, do you want to unmute yourself?
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
I'm Natalie. I was born here in California, but I grew up in Mexico. I moved quite a bit. I also lived in New York. I lived in Italy. So when I moved to LA, it was really hard for me trying to pin. I'd never had trouble finding a job. And once I came here to LA, I was having a hard time getting a permanent job. It was all temp positions, 6 months, a month, like 8 months, but it was always that tension and that struggle that how long is this gonna last this time? And Emily, with her program, I was able to land a job at Playboy as a photo editor.
Yay, awesome. We'll dive into more of that because I know a lot of people here have been feeling like they've been contracting or have a lot of employment gaps and so forth. So those that are joining us, I just want to say welcome. If you have any questions for the panelists here, please feel free to ask them. But I'm hoping that they can inject some career inspo or some job search inspo because they all started off feeling frustrated with their job search. And I'm hoping that they can share their story and their journey and just share with you where they're at today. So let me go to Jen. Do you want to introduce again your name, your location, what you do?
Hi everyone, I'm Jen. So I moved to the States 2 years ago from Singapore for my grad school, and I was having trouble looking for a permanent job after graduating because it was the change in industry for me. And but right now, after joining Happily Hired Formula, I was able to find a really good permanent job. So right now, I'm working as a data ops analyst in the energy storage industry. So that's like the renewable energy industry, and it's pretty niche, I would say.
Awesome, welcome. And Melanie, can you unmute yourself and introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Melanie, and I am based out of Pennsylvania. I joined Emily's Happily Hired Challenge, I want to say last November, because I was feeling very frustrated finding a new, sorry, I have a cat on the other end here. I don't know, like he's like messing with the video. I was feeling very frustrated and really stagnant in my job search. And I am super pumped. I start my new job on the 3rd.
Yay!
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So thank you guys for sharing your backgrounds. I'd love to hear, I actually have a list of questions that people have asked, but I think a lot of people are just kind of wondering why you enrolled in HHF. So if you could kind of talk about where you were at with your job search journey, I'd love to start there and just hear like your different situations, your scenarios, your struggles. This is kind of free for all. So anybody want to kick us off? Is that question?
Sure, I can start. So I had been putting out a ton of applications with, unfortunately, I just wasn't hearing a lot back. This was back in the summer in, June, July. I was putting out like dozens of applications and really just not getting any footing. So I had first discovered Emily's program probably around about October, and I did like there was like a free tutorial that I kind of stumbled upon, like a 1 hour kind of thing. And I did that. I was really impressed with the information. And then Emily was like gracious enough to do like a one-on-one call with me to explain more about how her program worked and, you know, the different things that she helps job search candidates navigate. And I just kind of took the plunge after that, so to speak. I just like leapt in and committed myself to the program. And I found that I had to put out fewer applications and I was getting more traction.
Awesome.
More positive feedback. Just in the really only been like 2.5 months since I've been in the program.
Awesome. Okay. Very cool. So for Melanie, it sounds like you were just getting frustrated with applying online, not getting as many interviews. And then that's when you realized, okay, I need to switch something up. I need to do something different. What about you, Shihua? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Melanie.
No, my last bit is I had been at my previous job for 11 years. So
wow.
I was really not knowledgeable about what looking for a job, what that process was even like in, 2019, 2020. So it was really helpful. You educated me a lot.
Awesome. Yeah, I have a lot of people who are like, I haven't interviewed in 5 years. Like, I don't even know what to say. So that's awesome. And congratulations. I'm going to dig in more about your new job and how you got that. But I want to move over to Shihua and just kind of ask, because I know you were in different job search programs prior to joining mine. So maybe you could speak to that as well.
Sure, I would love to. Yes, actually, before I met Emily, I was aware of the landing a job through networking. So I was also aware applying online was not working in nowadays job searching market. So I tried the other way to contacting people, and at the same time, I'm joined another online coaching program. But I have been looking for a new job this way for almost 2 years. So I was very frustrated and I was in such a rut and I couldn't wait to get off my old job as soon as possible. And so one day when I was coming across different career coaches on the Muse, because I was looking for help to edit my cover letter. And then I came across Emily's profile and then I click on it and then, I see everything matches with my needs. So I go ahead and buy the cover letter service. And that's how everything started. And I began to research everything I could find about Emily's work. And then Emily was pretty generous with her introductory call. And so we have a long talk and it was very in-depth. And with all of the information I got, I decided Emily might be the one who could help me. And it worked because not only the other online program I was using, I was also interviewing different career coaches. I was looking for help. But some of the coaches out there, I found myself know even more than them about the cold calling people, things like that. What they told me is their way of doing writing the resume was outdated, and they even didn't know about what the what is a hidden job market. What are you talking about? So I was like, wow, where is help? So I'm very glad I found happily hire formula, and I'm very glad I found Emily. So she was able to help me to put everything together. And so after I got Emily's help, I started to hear back from people when I cold called them, when I cold emailed them. So yeah, and that's how everything started. And finally, I got a job in one of my target companies.
Awesome. Yeah, we're going to dive into more of that later. But yeah, Shihua, that's amazing that you knew more than other career coaches. You're like, give me my money back. Let's move to Jen because you're unmuted. Do you want to share just kind of where you were? You already talked a little bit about this, but kind of help me understand the headspace and what your strategy was prior to joining.
Okay, so I actually found out about the Happily Hired Challenge in July last year. I was enrolled in it. And then, I've just graduated in May, but as an international student, I had 90 days of unemployment to look for a job before I have to get out of the country. So I had a really short period of time for job search. So I joined the challenge, but I didn't enroll in a course until August because between July and August, I applied for over 200 jobs online. I was, I didn't really dare to reach out to people because I was afraid of getting rejections, and I really didn't know what to say, how to approach them, how to carry myself, like what's the right questions to ask so that they won't be offended, like, oh, she's just looking for a job from me, that's all.
Mm-hmm.
So while I started working in a company where my classmate was working as a temp, the pay was really low. The traveling hours like 1.5 hours minimum each way, and the management wasn't good. So I decided that I really need help and I wanted to get out of this ASAP. So I enrolled in, I think, early August, and I managed so I didn't apply for a lot of jobs. I mainly took the time to listen to Emily's online courses on my long drives, and think about what I would want to say, what I would want to do, how I would approach people, and I feel like that really helped me. So I think I was networking about 2 people every week.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really apply for a lot of jobs online because I couldn't be bothered anymore by then after applying for 200 online.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I managed to land a new jobs within, I think, 100 days of joining Emily's program. So that's an achievement for me.
Okay, cool. So I just want to recap because Melanie, it sounds like you were in a company, a job for 11 years, and you just wanted to get the latest strategies and make sure that what you were doing was effective as quickly as possible. Shihua, you had been on your job search journey for 2 years. I know you were really itching to get out of your work environment.
Yes.
You actually hired different career coaches. You tried all the things. You educated career coaches. And then you found the program and started to do the hidden job market strategies. Jen, you were job searching by applying to 200 plus jobs, not getting very much traction, not really understanding how to have effective informational interviews, tapping into that. And then Natalie, I know you shared earlier, you had been contracting on and off for about 3 years, just never getting that full-time opportunity and just wanting to do something new. So I want to share, you guys are amazing because I just love like the before picture of what you guys were doing, which is totally normal. Like everybody job searches in those ways. But I'd love to talk about the after and just kind of hear like what was the most helpful strategy for you and how you ultimately landed where you're at today. So let's go in the same order. Natalie, do you want to start?
Sure. Actually, it was funny because like I said before, I was moving around and it was until LA that I was having a hard time to find a job, but I was also switching industries because I started in fashion and then I ended up in like fashion merchandising, and then I wanted to move more towards the creative photography side. So it was also like a lengthy process, but it was like a stepping stone. Actually, Emily took me to this, it was a job like panel. It was, what was it called? I forgot.
It was a networking event about career. So I invited you to that.
One of the ladies that was there, she worked for this hiring company, and I met her through Emily, and she was a panelist. I met her through Emily. Emily introduced me to her, actually. And then I follow up with her. I got her email. I follow up with her, and she got me, in the beginning, it was another temp position, but I was there for a short time. And like right after that, because I had that job first and I had a little bit of experience, I was able to land the actual full-time position.
Awesome. Yeah. So now you're first full-time job in 3 years. Amazing. And really came through networking and not necessarily just applying online, but opening yourself up to new opportunities and using that stepping stone to get to where you want to be. So that's beautiful. Thank you, Natalie. Actually, I'm going to jump to Jen because I know that you are possibly needing to jump pretty soon. So do you want to kind of just share like what strategy was most helpful to you and where you ultimately, like, what is your dream job?
So I was in the midst of switching industry. I was working in the oil and gas industry, and I wanted to switch to a renewable clean energy industry. So in San Francisco, it's pretty, it's a pretty close circle. Everyone knows everyone, and you have to know someone in order to get in. So I felt what was most useful to me was your modules on writing cold emails or cold LinkedIn messages, how to introduce myself, how to get people's interest, and also how to, basically how to carry on a conversation, interviewing skills. I feel like these are really important to me because I already know what I wanted to do. And I was getting phone interviews previously from, applying 200 jobs, but not as many as I would like. But basically, I was just failing at a phone interview, and they'll go like, okay, thanks for your time, and that's about it. So I felt like the interview modules really helped me because it helped me to, phrase my thinking and to say what I want to say to the interviewer so that they can understand me better, and also for them to accept me for who I am and to learn about my abilities. Yeah, so I feel like these are really important for me in my job search.
Okay, beautiful. So Natalie's was like networking. Yours was networking, tapping into the hidden market. I know because you did well in your interviews, like you got pushed, and your personal brand, like you got pushed to another team and kind of tapped into that hidden job market. How about you, Melanie? Let me unmute you.
Okay, there we go. So what I found really most beneficial about the program, I mean, prior to joining your program, I didn't have a LinkedIn profile at all. I didn't understand the importance of it, and I didn't I'm familiar with like other social media platforms, but LinkedIn was really foreign to me. So you helped me navigate that and figure out how to really put my best foot forward in terms of like a representative like profile page, like what I was trying to convey to prospective employers. I also got a lot out of the resume review. My resume was really dated just in terms of like, I mean, my last time putting together a resume, there wasn't even like a skills section. Like that wasn't even customary to put a skills section on there. So that was like all really new. And I got a really polished resume out of it. And then finally, the interview module training was supremely helpful for me. Being an HR professional, I've conducted a lot of interviews. So going through this training module really helped me consider my framework and put myself on like the other side of the table. Really think about, because a lot of interview questions are very similar. So it was helpful for me to rehearse those answers. And I also even made myself like little flashcards with like my key talking points, like the things that I absolutely don't want to leave the interview having not said. And even just rehearsing the closings of the interview, that was really helpful. So then I, had a really successful phone interview, which led to an in-person interview, which led to this opportunity.
Awesome. Okay, love it. So it sounds like you guys both love the interview modules.
Yeah.
Shihua, do you want to share how you what strategies you found the most helpful to get your ultimate position?
I think all the strategies taught in the Happily Hire formula, they are all very useful and helpful. But the thing is, I would say the unlimited Q&A I have with you on the Facebook group is the most helpful. Because because I know here and there what I should do, but I don't know how to connect the dots together. So whenever I have this kind of question, I would just go to the Facebook group and ask a question there. And the feedback you gave me was extremely helpful. So, and also the solution messages, those I consider like my magic tools.
Yeah, so I know a lot of people participated in the challenge, and I've already shared your story because everybody wants to know about how to network. So I shared that you messaged the CEO of your number one company, and that ultimately led into passing on your resume to the HR team, to an interview, to opening up a position for yourself, which is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I actually want to ask, like, what are the tangible results that you guys got out of this program? Like, if you think about how to measure the success or the return on your investment, how would you guys say that this, like, your return on investment was made through the program? Anybody want to take that?
I can take it.
Okay.
I think it's unmeasurable, the return I got from this program. And yeah, as I just told you guys before, I have purchased other coaching packages from other coaches before, and but sadly to say, they were a waste of money.
Mm-hmm.
And but this one, even though like price wise, at the very beginning, HHF might be like a bit higher, but later on, as you really take the courses and you ask the unlimited questions on the Facebook group, and you got the feedback, and those are invaluable. Those are priceless, and I don't find anything out there like to compare.
Oh.
Yeah, so and because like as my experience with using other online coaches, they are like coaches that train by the master coach, so you don't have direct and instantaneous response from the big coach, him or herself. So yeah, I think that's the investment, the return of the investment I got from HHF. And yeah, of course, higher pay and more room for growth.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing that. There's actually a saying that is cheap is expensive, and I never really understood that until I also like bought like really cheap things, and I realized, oh shoot, I have to replace this, or it's not as effective. Like I used to, FYI, like I used to hire business coaches, and you know, I hire one at $100, but it would cost me like 6 sessions in order to get the same value that I got from one master coach at like $350 an hour. I was like, you know, cheap is expensive over time. So thank you for sharing that perspective, Shihua. Melanie, did you want to share?
Certainly. Just in terms of like tangible return on that investment, I mean, like I haven't started my new job yet, but my new job salary is like, I'm making like $16,000 more a year than I was at my old job. So that's like the program like paid for itself in that sense. I also, my new job has really excellent benefits, which that's kind of like an intangible, like just peace of mind thing. Just because my old job, unfortunately, I didn't have good health insurance. I didn't have like any sort of retirement options. So in terms of like intangible returns on my investment, the program really got me thinking about what is possible, because I think it was easy for me just to like kind of pigeonhole myself into, well, this is just what the road looks like, and like see other people achieving different measures of success, but think that just wasn't for me or wasn't my path. But having come this far in the process now just has got me thinking in this terms of like forward momentum about like what else is possible from here. And what I love about HHF is that it's like a continuous support. So it's not just like kind of like a once and done and then you're like on your own. We have like Emily's insight and Emily's expertise like along this road, you know, hope like for the next step in my career after this.
Absolutely. Yeah, you guys are all part of the family. You guys are all in the Facebook group. I'm not kicking you out. Like, ask any questions. And what's I think is really cool too is you guys get lifetime access to all of the updated contents. And like Melanie, you shared you hadn't job searched in 11 years. Things are so rapidly changing. Even 2 years from now, job searching is going to have all these different strategies in place. You know, there's going to be like video interview robots like screening you out. But you guys can be equipped for that in the future. Thank you for sharing that, Melanie. Jen, Natalie, do you guys want to chime in?
I was looking at the questions from the people that are in the panel, for example, the how do you stay motivated on your job search? And I think it can be sometimes, you know, when you're applying to all these jobs and you're not hearing back, or what I heard a lot was like, I was being in the middle too, kind of like, oh, you don't have enough experience or you're overqualified. And a lot of times was like, you're overqualified. And I think just networking events, it doesn't necessarily, it of course is better if it's like towards your industry. For example, I'm in the creative industry, so I'm always open to all these like female, like women supporting women and things like that, and just meeting people in person. And if there's nothing on the like in your area, maybe just even trying to find the pockets of where those people hang out. For example, even like at church, like I go to a church where it's like all young people, a lot of creatives. So that was also like a way of like meeting people and like networking. And I feel like it's nicer when you can do like a meeting a person, you know, other than just like being behind the computer and trying to do this. And it's sometimes even volunteering. I mean, like, I know you have to make money somehow, but like I did a lot of volunteer work as well. And through that, because I also freelance a lot. So through that, I'm mostly booked every weekend because it's just word of mouth. Like I need to start promoting myself now, but it's just people meeting people, and that's always the best way.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Natalie. Jen, I saw you just unmute yourself.
Yeah, I was looking at the chat questions as well. So, from Michelle, she asked, how do you stay motivated outside of the job search? I want to say, like, Emily has a module, like, we have monthly calls, and one of the module was about mindset. So I feel like that really helped me because I was in a rut in the middle of like job search. It was a painful process, you know. I was reaching out to people, networking, but at the same time, I know I was building building connections with people, but they're like, oh, you know, right now we don't have opening. I'll reach out to you when we have an opening. And it felt like it wasn't helpful to me at that time, because what I wanted was, you know, for someone to tell me, oh, you know, I really like you, and we have a position that we can offer you. So yeah, so the mindset um workshop that she did with us was really helpful. And other than job searching, like what Natalie said, networking is really important. So I went for networking events. I was like, I want to go, I'm not sure if I should go. And then I felt really helpful that the other HHF participants, they were like, you should go, like, go for it, girl, just do it. And then I was like, okay, I'll go. And it was encouraging that everyone's telling me, oh, you know, you don't have to set a target for yourself in networking events. Like, I have to collect 5 or 10 name cards, but you can go out there, just meet one person, have a meaningful conversation with them, and that will really make your night, because you have built a meaningful relationship with someone else that you've never known before the event.
Amazing. Thank you, Jen. I remember that actually. Like after
Yeah.
the training, which by the way, if you join HHF, you get access to all of the previous trainings. But you're like, can you do more mindset trainings? And I totally get it, because job search is the roller coaster. But I also remember you asking the group, like, I found this event. It's so funny because I feel when you type something out, you could reflect back like every single word. And I was like, you're obviously excited about this or interested somewhat. Like, you should just go,
Yeah.
just do it. So kudos to you for showing up. Okay, so I want to kind of switch gears and look at a lot of people are wondering because people are apprehensive about investing in themselves or investing in a program, especially from the internet. I promise you guys, I'm not like a scam. I live in Los Angeles. I'll give you my address, but it's natural to have apprehension. So I actually want to ask each and every one of you, as you were investing in coaching or this program, what kind of apprehensions came up, and then how did you decide to move past the apprehension or the fear?
Well, I need to leave soon, so I'm just gonna jump in
Okay.
to say this first. So I just graduated from school before I joined the program, and I felt like the amount was really expensive to me. I didn't really want to invest right away from after Happily Hired Challenge because like I have these few pointers from her. Maybe I can work on these, like the tidbits, and hopefully I'll learn something. But it took me another month to realize, hey, this is not working out for me anymore. But I really need more help. And what I was losing in terms of time, in terms of money, in terms of building relationship, that matters way more to me. And a
Powerful.
potential for a better future with career growth, working with great people, feeling the sense of fulfillment in my career is way more than the simple thousand few dollars that I was about to spend. So I feel like you shouldn't measure what your future can hold in terms of like money. And like what Shihua said, she spent her time with other career coaches, and that didn't work out for her. She was educating the other career coaches, so I found that pretty ridiculous too.
Yeah.
And I'll really say Emily knows her stuff, and it's really helpful. She was HR, she was hiring, she was she knows everything in the industry right now, from the traditional applying online to networking to tapping into the hidden market. So these are really helpful, and you should hop onto her program because it'll save you a lot of heartache, a lot of effort that you would otherwise have to discover on your own through, I don't know, other means.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Time is money. Speaking of time, Jen, I know you have to run. So happy New Year to you and your family.
Happy New Year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, good luck to everyone looking for a job, and I hope you guys will find it soon and join the Happily Hired formula.
Yay. Okay. Take care.
See you.
Awesome. Does anybody else want to share like your apprehensions and how you overcame that? Melanie, I see you hopping on and off. It looks like your cat is controlling your your phone.
Oh no, is my video still okay?
Oh no, you're good now.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I also was apprehensive because it's a significant investment, and it feels strange to spend that amount of money on yourself. Whoops. Oh no.
That's okay. We see you.
Okay,
We can hear you. That's the important part.
But part of the underlying motivation, because again, I've been at this job for so long, and I've been thinking about trying to find a new position for many years, but making this investment was kind of like eye-opening for me. Like it was kind of time to stop like playing around, so to speak. Like if I'm going to spend this amount of money to create a new opportunity for myself, then it's like the time is now, and I can't just let my life keep like passing me by, like so to speak. So it was really like it kind of put some of my fears a little bit more on the back burner, because it was like a concrete like commitment in a way. I couldn't just, the cost of just doing the same thing had become too great.
That's powerful. Yeah. And I would say too that when you invest in yourself, like I see this time and time again, like when you invest a certain amount, you're like, I need to recoup that investment. I'm going to watch these modules. I'm going to do these trainings. I'm going to ask the questions. I'm going to take advantage, or I don't want to say take advantage, but like I'm going to utilize the resources that I'm paying for, right? Because if you don't have any skin in the game, it's just like, oh, well, it was free, so nothing to lose, right? We see that happen a lot. So thanks for sharing that perspective, Melanie. Shihua, Natalie? Actually, Shihua, I want to go to you because I know you had already spent lots of money in other areas. So like, how did you decide I'm just going to do it?
Yeah, because I have like unfortunately wasted some money like in other coaching services. So I have learned my lesson. So before, so when I was considering to get your help, Emily, I did a lot of research on you, and I talked about that before. So, and then I asked you a lot of questions. So you were able to like answer me one by one, and I was really impressed. And then I know, I believe this is the right investment. So I just go ahead and do it.
Beautiful. Okay, so you vetted me, which is good. I just wrote an email about the importance of vetting your service provider. So I'm glad that you did your due diligence, and I'm glad you're here. Natalie, do you want to share?
Hi. I think, I mean, what other people have said, it's just what it is, you know, like once you make this investment, you are like, I have to take advantage of this and I have to commit because, you know, you are making this investment in yourself. And I think that for me also in the beginning, it was like, I'm not making a lot of money and like having to, you know, freelance to supplement my, you know, my income and whatnot. But like once you do it, you are committed to it. And yeah, I mean, like you have to, is you can't let yourself like go and just slack once you make the investment. So it's I mean, also like talking to you one-on-one, it's like it's made it very clear that, you know, I feel like you always, when you're on like that crunch that like, you know, I'm not making enough money and whatnot, like you don't, it's like hard to justify yourself in the beginning to make this like, okay, this is investment in you and this is something that you're gonna carry on like later, you know, like once you want to move up from like your next job, you know, once you're ready to move along or whatnot, or even to friends to like know how to sorry, I'm having a blur in English, how to give like a good talk to like a friend that's also looking for a job or whatnot. So
Yeah, awesome, Natalie. And I want to ask, because you talked about like, I know a lot of people are like, how can I justify if I'm living paycheck to paycheck? But like, for your return on investment, would you say like your full-time job gives you more financial security now?
yes,
Consistent.
benefits, a lot of benefits. I even have a prorated gym membership, so like they even pay for my gym membership. So it's the benefits. I have really good health insurance, the full package, a retirement, and it's something that I've never had before. So it's yes, I actually looked because I started my job. It was towards the end of the year, like half the year. And then now that I just got my W-2 with like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never made this much in my life before. Like I was looking through my previous 2-year taxes and it was depressing.
Oh, that's so amazing. Okay, so we heard how amazing HHF is. I want you guys to be real and share with me, like, what do you feel could be improved? And I'm constantly updating the program, so this feedback is also good for me, but I just want to hear, like, what do you feel could be better?
I can say
Okay,
one.
go ahead, Shihua.
I think one thing that I think could be added is the 30-60-90 plan, a 30-60-90 days plan.
That's an excellent idea. I'm going to create that bonus. Okay, what else?
And actually, recently I come across a pain point letter. I think when people try to contact potential hiring managers, we really need to contact them like more than 2 or 3 times, let alone only contact them 1 time, because like research found out that in order to get the hiring manager to respond to you, it takes 5 to 7 touch points. So I think the solution messages that they serve a very good opening contact with the potential hiring managers. But after that, you really need to like constantly like trigger their interest in you. So I think maybe like something like a pain point letter, like you really research on the company, you know their pain points, and you offer, you use your skill set and experience to offer suggestions, like work for them before they hire you. So I think that's very attractive.
Awesome.
And also, so that's sort of one touch point, and the 30, 60, 90 days plan could be also search another touch point, and or maybe it can be even used for the interviews.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, I just created the bonus, the follow-up template, because a lot of you guys have been asking, like, okay, I haven't heard back, like, what do I say now? So I have like a whole 9-pager of like different scenarios and like follow-up. So that's a bonus, but I love your ideas. I'm going to incorporate that and throw them in as new bonuses. Shihua, if you ever want to be like a side career coach, let's talk.
All right.
Melanie, did you want to share?
I was trying to think. In some ways, hearing Shihua speak, I feel like I have so much left to learn. Like I feel like I should still be going through the modules and educating myself, because it's like such a work in progress. I think you've said multiple times in the training that like your career is a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
And I definitely feel that there's still so much more for me to learn. And that's actually really enlightening about contacting the hiring managers like 5 times, because if I hadn't heard, like, people that I didn't hear back from after one point of contact, I just immediately assumed, oh, well, they're not interested in me. And I just took that like kind of rejection and like moved on. So no, and
3 follow-ups. Like in the module, I tell you to follow up 3 times, and then put the ball in their court. But we don't have to go into like the nitty-gritty. But yeah, no, I think what Shihua is saying is like it generally takes 5 to 7 points of contact to build that trust or like build that familiarity.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
It's just like sales. I was in sales before, because in order to get a yes, you really need to like strategically and like sell in a non-aggressive way 5 to 7 times, because actually I don't think 3 times is even enough. I think I would just have, as a job seeker, I just will have that kind of persistence to push it through the 5 to 7 times contacting the hiring managers. So yeah, they could actually, because every time I give them value, so I think at one point they will be touched.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I guess
exactly. Go ahead, Melanie. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I guess it's kind of related to contacting hiring managers. Something that I struggled with, because I was contacting hiring managers often through like LinkedIn. But if we're not in the same group, or they're not my like connection, I couldn't send them a message. So I would like find the person that I really wanted to speak to about an opportunity that I found, but have difficulty figuring out like, okay, now how do I actually get this person a message if they won't accept me as their connection? You know?
Oh, Melanie, that was covered actually. But also in the Facebook group, like that's what I want to emphasize. Like if you're having any questions or any like confusion about anything, that's what the Facebook group is for. Like I would have loved to receive that question from you, because then I could point you to where to go, but also just answer it for you. But anyways, you found your dream job, so all worked out in the end. I just want to make sure we have enough time for all the other questions. So I want to check in. So a lot of people actually enrolled already, and they wanted to ask you guys, how did you structure like the modules, or how did you pace yourself, or what was your thought process as you started to go through? Because I know some people, they're just like, oh, I'm going to take it like one module at a time, but if I get an interview, I'll go to the interview module. So I just wanted to hear like how you guys paced yourself through the program, if you guys want to open up.
Sure. My initial goal was to go step by step through the program, because that was what you recommended, and I wanted to optimize the program the best that I could. But unfortunately, I did get into that, like, okay, well, now I have an interview, so I need to prepare for this interview. Unfortunately, like, kind of skip ahead. Yeah. So at the beginning, I went through the first couple modules in order, and then I had to start kind of like piecemealing and jumping around depending on where I was.
Totally. I always hear this from HHF students. Like once they start implementing the strategies, they get interviews pretty fast. So they're just like, okay, jump ahead, and that's totally fine. That's why I give access to everything all at once so that you can go through whatever you need. But Melanie, like, I know you said there's still so much to learn, and I love that you're an HR professional. Just feel free to go back to the modules, even though you're not job searching, but I think it'll just help you overall, not just with like HR, but as you prepare for like future leaps as well.
Sure.
Cool. Shihua, Natalie, do you guys want to give your feedback?
I think my feedback is to really like take notes. You really so it's really helpful. It would be really helpful to have a notebook. Actually, when I was taking the courses, I pretty much write down everything I find helpful and or insightful. Actually, I didn't take the modules by order. I select the modules according to what I need. And but I really like diligently take notes and write them down on my notebook.
Awesome. Cool. You're an A student. Natalie?
I think, well, as you know, I'm always like on the run and constantly working through weekends as well. So I just took it in the beginning. I started taking it like module by module, but like everybody else said, like all of a sudden, like, oh, you have an interview, oh, you have this, so then you start jumping around. But it was easy to digest anyways. And I feel like even through other people in the Facebook group, sometimes like somebody else has a question that you might have at the same time. So it's like you see also like everybody else's respond and experience, not just like you have to say, Emily, but like people that actually have been through that as well. And it's just more, it's like not nice to have that like networking area with other people that have been through it or are going through the same.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a great community and everybody's super helpful. I think it's just nice knowing that you're not alone in the process. Like everybody's kind of going through a similar journey. So I want to be conscious of the time, and I just want to end with, two questions. Like, going through this program, who would you recommend this program to? Like, what kind of person or what kind of situation do you think this program is perfect for?
Going back, also there's another question about a recent college graduate, and I think this is for, especially when you're coming out of college. I feel like this is something that, in school you might have a class where they're like teach you how to do your resume and whatnot, but it's very superficial. So as well as from like, you just came out of college or you're jumping from career paths, I think is helpful to everyone. Or how the other girl said, like, I haven't looked for a job in a while, and you're just not sure how to go about it in the very beginning. So I think for like it doesn't matter at what point you are, it's nice to have that knowledge and that like kick push.
Yeah. Great. Thank you, Natalie. Anybody else want to take this?
Yeah, I think I would suggest anybody who's looking for a job to make an investment in HHF. And I would like to add something to Natalie's response to the recent college graduates question. The advice I would give is to go to as many career events your college organize, and at the same time, go through all the modules in HHF and ask whatever questions you have in regards to the informational interviews, networking on the Facebook group, because you have unlimited access.
Yes. Awesome. So final question is, like, if people are on the fence about HHF because they're just like, it sounds good, but I don't know. Like, I don't know if I can afford it. I don't know if I have time. I don't know if, it's right for me. Like, what would you say to them having gone through this program?
Yeah, you're talking about me?
Oh, any of you guys.
Okay.
Anybody who wants to take this?
I would maybe just reiterate kind of my same feedback from before, that you can spend so much time and inadvertently spend so much money through missed opportunities that ultimately I think the benefit far outweighs that initial cost.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just found you to be really personable and really helpful and really available anytime I would have questions. So I never felt like I was alone. And that's the biggest distinction between when I started the program and when I joined the program, is you feel like you're by yourself, like trying to make sense of all of this. And it can be really frustrating and demoralizing.
Yeah. That's powerful. Thank you, Melanie. I actually want to ask, because I know there's so much free advice out there. You know, there's YouTube videos, there's podcasts, there's articles. Like, how did you guys find the program like different from all of the advice out there? Is it just that it's more structured, like more step by step, more concise? Like, share a little bit more about that.
I think it's like, you know, when you're going through all those like free resources, it might be, you know, you like this bit from this person, you like that bit from that person. Some other people that are just, you know, I've taken other courses or programs where like you're excited and like, yes, I end up taking that step and that investment. And then when I get there, it's like, well, you didn't tell me anything new. You didn't tell me like, you know, like I already knew this. I didn't really learn. And like, you didn't really like, it was just a waste of money. So I feel like with you, not only, I mean, like everybody said, you are always available for the extra questions, customer service, on the Facebook group. I mean, it's just, I mean, like, you know what you're getting into here, and you know that it's a good investment, and this is like the good way of going, and everything is already concise and structured and organized, and you're just like, here you go, and just focus and go here.
Amazing. Thank you. I had no idea what you guys were going to say, so I'm really touched right now. Thank you. Shihua, do you want to answer, like, if anybody's on the fence having already been in different programs, like what you would say?
Yeah, I have a lot to say, want to say. Speaking about the outside free resources, I would say, yeah, go ahead if you find them helpful or interesting or innovative. By all means, you could try to implement them. And but the thing is, what makes HHF stand out is if you are feeling shaky or feeling skeptical about the free resources out there, go to the Facebook group and ask Emily questions. She's always very flexible, and no matter what questions you ask about career job searching, Emily basically have an answer. So you will get the help you need. That's what I would suggest to say.
Awesome. No, I really appreciate your guys' feedback and just really being able to share with others kind of your journey, where you started, where you guys are at now, and just seeing the investment as something not so much like a monetary, like scary thing, but really thinking about like the ultimate result that comes out of it. I just want to be respectful of your guys' Saturdays. I really appreciate you guys so much for carving out this time, speaking with our attendees and answering their questions. I think you guys answered everything. So I thank you guys all so much. And for those that attended, thank you guys for tuning in today. I'm definitely gonna, I think all of you guys are in the Facebook group. I'm gonna tag you guys in case, you know, people have other follow-up questions, but I just really appreciate all of you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And it's been such a pleasure serving you guys through this journey. And I'm just really happy to hear that you guys are loving your jobs. Shihua, by the way, really quick, do you want to add, like, tell them what you told me before we hit record, in that, like, in taking on new projects and like why you were given those? Because I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I think so currently I got my new job, and basically so based on what I learned through my colleague, so the upper management, they basically like designed the job for me. So they put me into a role that's senior, and they got me into a project that's very selective. So even people they have been working in my current organization like for a long time, they don't have the opportunity to be part of. So I am very excited, and I really look forward to it because I'm an external candidate. So I have a lot of training that needs to get, and I have a lot of things to pick up. So that's why the project haven't started yet. And yeah, so it's about, so it's going to require a lot of project management skills, and that's something I want to develop in my career. So I am just super excited.
Awesome. Yeah, I just wanted to share that because when you told me that, I was like, yes, like I want everybody to know it's not just about the job search. Like, yes, that's the goal of it. But the fact that you can position yourself as like a top employee, a top candidate, like your personal brand is there. They see you as like a proactive person versus, again, just a passive person who tried to apply and didn't do anything. Like, it's really opening you up to so many greater opportunities. So I'm just super excited for all of your careers and what's to come. All right, you guys, I want to be respectful of your guys' Saturday. Thank you so much. I hope you guys all enjoy the rest of your Saturday, wherever you guys are tuning in from, and have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.